Again. Hopefully, it's your favorite time of week. I'm going to say it's probably not, but if you do not know, every Thursday night at 9:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I always do my weekly live. So far this year, I am currently at a 100% success rate of going live. Let's see if we can continue this live streak going. But yeah, so if you look at the title of this video, it's not really clickbait. It's Pokemon buys and moves people are sleeping on. And what kind of made me want to have this video is just these cards right here. You know what these are? I mean, these are just the Pokemon Together promos. They were available on Pokemon Center a month ago, maybe a month ago, maybe a little bit over a month ago. But one of the things about Pokemon is once in a while, and we talk about this a lot, Pokemon on occasion just throws you a bone, and it's like, okay, Fido, come fetch. Here's your bone. Good boy, yes, good boy. And once in a while, Pokemon just throws out promos like this that are free. Yeah, this promo wasn't great, but I talked to you guys about when I picked up mine. I picked it up with like the pin collection boxes, and it came with a pack of Battle Styles and Fusion Strike. So altogether for $40, you got, well, it was like one pack of Rebel Clash was randomly in one, but 3 packs of Battle Styles and 4 packs of Fusion Strike. So altogether 8 packs for $40. And you get the 4 pins, but I didn't really count the pins. But then you got those promo cards on top of it for $40. And I waited for a product like that to come out for me to pick up a few of them. I didn't pick up a crazy amount, but I picked up a handful of them. I picked up an original set of 3, and then I went back in later because they were surprisingly still up for a long amount of time. I looked at the Crown Zenith tin bundle, but it was still $75, so I passed on that. And then I picked up a few more. And right now, today, on eBay, if you type in the pair of that Pikachu and Eevee, confirmed sales today at $35. If you go search lowest listing for the pair, $35 to get both of them. I just told you spent $40 to get the 8 packs. Now you could sell the promos that came for free for $35 if you wanted. And then there'll probably be a lot of people who won't sell them. They're going to sit on them because they'll probably do well, especially if you grade those promos and do all that. I'm telling you, once in a while, Pokemon just throws you a fucking bone. And either you can go get that bone or you don't. So I think the problem is we ran into a weird timeline in this hobby where a lot of people are sleeping on a lot of stuff too. And I've had a lot of conversations recently because just this very last weekend I was at Charlotte Collecticon. Rewind 2 weekends before that, I was at New Jersey Collecticon. So in the last, call it 3 weeks, I've had tons of hours worth of Pokemon conversations with some of the people doing this hobby at the highest level. And one of the things that I did find very common between a lot of people was people are not sending away big graded card submissions lately. And I think a lot of people are missing a ton of opportunities right now just with graded. And we're in a weird spot too because Ultra Modern is the easiest thing to grade. And what I mean by the easiest thing to grade, I don't mean the print quality is the easiest thing to grade. What I mean by it's the easiest thing to grade is it's the most easily sourceable, meaning whatever the most current modern set is, Twilight Masquerade, those cards are going to be readily available in bulk. So if you were doing graded plays, ideally you're going to pick up a bunch of copies of each card. You're going to search through those cards. You're going to find cards you do believe are good grading candidates, and then you're going to sell back onto the market the ones you think will probably hit 9s or 8s. And then you're just going to kind of rinse and repeat that for every set into infinity. I mean, it's a never-ending scenario, but what I found is a lot of people have just stopped grading as of recently. And I don't think it's completely to do with the print quality. I think a lot of it has to do with maybe people got burned on some graded card submissions lately. Maybe some people have some cards they're sitting on that are just more or less being stagnant and they think that they could do things with their money better in other places. But that's really been a common trend I've heard a lot of people talk about, is just they're not grading as much. And I do encourage you guys, if that is the case, if you are... Listen, I've also found myself as falling a little bit down this path, I'm going to give you an example of a card if I could. Oh no. Where did I put it? Oh, here it is. Here. I finally cracked out mine. Speaking of just once in a while Pokemon throws you free money. Well, once in a while PSA throws you free money too. And this is my One Piece card. I finally opened it up out of its plastic. Finally put in a penny sleeve. Put in the same top loader that PSA sent it to me. And I'm going to send this away with my next submission. So, speaking of my next submission, if you guys are fans of this channel and you've been watching a lot of these lives, about a few months back, I had a video called, well, I forget what it was, just like a bunch of absolute degens talking Pokemon or something like that. But Basic Trainer came on. It was a ton of fun. I think that live stream ended up going on for almost 5.5 hours. It was super long. But during that live, Dan Catchmall Collectibles hopped on, and us being the degens that we are, and you know, our actions are as true to the title of that video. So that video definitely was not clickbait. It was very true, but we split a heavy base set pack between 5 of us. So the 5 of us that were involved in it was myself, Bearski, Basic Trainer, DeGreen Shiz, and Retrospecs. So between the 5 of us, we all threw in $100 each, and we bought one of the heavy base set unlimited packs from Dan Catchable Collectibles. During that opening, we did pull a good holo. We pulled one of the big 3, and this was the card we pulled. So we pulled the base set unlimited Venusaur. Dan sent it away for us. I covered the grading fees. Dan sent it away and ended up hitting a 9. I don't do 9s. I only do 10s, so I'm going to crack it, and maybe this card gets resubmitted to PSA 20 more times, and whatever value could be extracted out of this card will be evaporated. Originally, my plan was, I said I would match most recent sales of this card and then add 20% to it. So whatever most recent sales is, add 20%, and then that was going to be the market value I was going to pay for this card. I ran it past a few people at Collecticon, Basic Trainer, Bearski, Retrospecs. I didn't get to talk to Josh about it, but these guys were like, no, PK. If you're gonna keep cracking this thing and resubmit it to PSA, we're coming along for the ride. And Bearski was like, PK, I'm locked in. I'm not going anywhere. We're sending this card. And I'll tell you what, it has a little bit of issues, but this card, it is pretty clean. The only problem is it has a rough cut at the top, but the corners, look at that corner where my thumb is. So this is a rough cut at the top, which is the only one. That corner is actually pretty clean. And then this is the bottom corner. That corner is pretty clean. I mean, when it comes, listen, there's a lot of old WotC 10s that exist that are in way worse condition than obviously Venusaur. I'll let you look at the holo. The Venusaur is obviously going to take up most of your card. So there's no print lines on this holo. Centering is solid on this card. I mean, it's definitely within that 60-40 range. This is the back centering. Listen, I think it has a shot out of 10. I've seen a lot worse 10s. I already cracked it. It was a 9. I cracked it. I'm going to send it away. If it comes back a 9, this is what I assume will happen. It was originally a 9. It will come back to me an 8. I will crack it one more time, and then, and only then, will it hit the 10. Or it just comes back at 10 next round. But we're into this card now, guys. So this is my next submission. And this is another card, too, which is an interesting one. If you can see, this card is missing a print, like a print layer to it. So I haven't sent this card away, but you could probably see it on the camera. Do you see where it's yellow here? And it almost looks sun-faded. And then right there too, but this card is definitely not sun faded, and the reason why is because if you have a high powered microscope, you can look at the rosé pattern and it's missing a print layer. Why it's missing a print layer the way it is, I mean, obviously having such straight lines, you could kind of assume that something was messed up with the printing process. But I'm gonna send this away to PSA too. Hopefully I get something, hopefully they realize what it is and I get the qualifier for it. But yeah, that's where we're at right now. But there's a couple. Back to the title of this video: Pokemon buys and moves people are sleeping on. Again, sometimes I'm shocked, sometimes I'm not. There's free money that exists out there right now. The same way as I told you a month ago, you could have picked up these two Pokemon Together promos from Pokemon Center if you spent $40, and then as of recording this video, they're valued at $35 for the pair, and that was a month ago. The same way you can do that, you can still go online to certain retailers, into your certain GameStops. You could recently, just on Pokemon Center, spend a couple bucks and get the Pokemon 2024 Worlds promo. So it's the Pikachu card. It looks like, I've talked about it recently on a live that wasn't that long ago. But it kind of has the feel to this, but instead of a Pikachu fighting a Charizard, it's a Pikachu fighting a Mew. It's got the World's 2024 stamp on it right now. It's a free promo. A lot. I mean, there's a million of those promos exist. I was like, I wonder how strong the market can be for a super mass-produced promo that is available on multiple online retailers. Pokemon Center, your GameStops, Best Buys, like a ton of different retailers have that promo. You can go right now today and sell that thing on eBay and easily get $9.99. And to be honest with you, I've seen some sales at like $13 again. That is a free promo. And not only is it a free promo, it is not even an out of stock promo yet. Pokemon just throws free shit at people once in a while. I'm just telling you, when this free stuff is just thrown your way, you gotta just take advantage of it when it's available. But, you know, this is gonna be a hot take too, and I get it. But a lot of people are kind of sleeping on Greninja cards too. I mean, whether or not you love Greninjas, whether or not I love Greninjas, doesn't matter. The hobby as a whole seems to really care about Greninjas, which everybody always likes to go back to and talk about the poll that Pokemon did, and Greninja ended up being the favorite Pokemon. But I don't know enough about like the background of like what the sample size was of that poll, who was being sampled. Was it the kids playing the most current generation of games? Who was it? It was a while ago, but either way, people love to always go back and quote that poll that Pokemon did, asking people who their favorite Pokemon was in Greninja. Right now, Twilight Masquerade, before Stellar Crown technically gets released, and yeah, Shrouded Fable is technically out, but Shrouded Fable, we haven't seen the actual supply hit the market, because right now for Shrouded Fable we're only seeing collection boxes, 3-pack blisters. We haven't seen that major dump, which would be ETBs. ETBs with Shrouded Fable, when they eventually hit the market, that is when we're going to really see the most amount of packs hit. Shrouded Fable, in my opinion, not a super strong set, but this limited supply with what demand is and how it exists, you know, it's keeping Shrouded Fable up. So technically Shrouded Fable is the most modern specialty set, but as for regular expansions, it's Twilight Masquerade, and we're seeing what that Greninja card is doing, you know, the secret rare. I'm not talking about the Greninja card out of the Shrouded Fables promos box, which also not a bad card. Right now, in today's market, I can't wait to see the first ones of those Greninja promos from Shrouded Fables. I'm very curious. I love to watch the market. I love to see how the market reacts to stuff, and I love to see what people are grading. But I'm be very honest with you, I cannot wait to see what those very early Greninja promos from the Shrouded Fable Greninja EX boxes, I cannot wait to see what those early ones do on the market. I get fascinated by this stuff because I'm fascinated by... I'm not the buyer of that card. I would, if I wanted it, I would be the grader of that card. Sure, if I want to put in my PCA, grader. Am I the first to buy that card? No. Cannot wait to see what like a lot of these are going to do. And then there'll probably be a lot of people doing multiple plays. One, because it's a super cheap modern promo, you're going to see a lot of people send it to PSA, try to get that 10, try to get that PSA premium. But then even though I hate CGC personally, I'm still fascinated to see how those promos do in CGC, you know, 9s or CGC Gem Mint 10s or even CGC Pristine 10s. I'm fascinated to watch those cards. Still a little too early, but trust me, I'll be talking about it in future videos once we start to see the market play out for those. But either way, back to Twilight Masquerade, the actual Greninja, big bad heavy hitter of the set. if you guys want that card, I know a lot of people don't like to call it the modern day Moonbreon. They don't want to call it the Scarlet and Violet Moonbreon. It's the closest thing Scarlet and Violet has to the Moonbreon right now. And I think a lot of people have a lot of eggs in the basket for what the later, Scarlet and Violet blocks could look like. Again, Twilight Masquerade is still Scarlet and Violet 6. Stellar Crown is Scarlet and Violet 7. So there's not going to be a ton of sets left at the end of Scarlet and Violet. Now, we are going to run into that EX set. Not EX. We're going to run into that Dragon set. We are going to run into the Eevee set. We are going to run into the Team Rocket set. So you have 3 big hitter sets coming out at the tail end of this block. So there can definitely potentially be a card that overshadows that Greninja. But looking at what that Greninja is, looking at how tough the graded, populations are, that is going to be a tough card to grade. I like that Greninja right now. I like it even at its high price point. Not graded, but raw. If you can, this is the thing. You're going to tie up a lot of money trying to play that graded, game. But if you can pick that card up on eBay and you can actually see front and back photos and you're a decent pre-grader, I don't hate you buying one and just speculating on that card. I think a lot of people are looking at that Greninja and saying it has nowhere to go but down. But I just want you to understand that. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to compare it to the Moonbreon. At release of Evolving Skies, the Moonbreon was $250 raw. Okay? The PSA 10s at the time were selling for $600. And people were like, whoa. You could pick up this card for $250 and you could potentially grade it for a 10 and have a huge premium. And that wasn't the most expensive card in the set at the time. At the time, it was Rayquaza. But a lot of people were like, whoa, this is a huge gap in the market from the price of the raw to the price of the 10. The difference with that card being the price of, or the raw versus the 10, it was an 80% 10 rate. So it was a much easier card to grade than this Greninja. So do you hear those numbers I just mentioned? At release, that Moonbreon from Evolving Skies was $250 raw, $600 and a 10. Here we go at this Greninja. It's $250 raw, and it's right around $600 and a 10. When you start to look at it, and it does seem to be a little familiar. Real quick shout out to Son of a Mewtwo. Appreciate you being a member for 5 months. Appreciate you. But no, I don't dislike that Greninja. I know it's a lot of money, especially if you're going to try to grade it. But if you could pick up one on eBay, I know it's a competitive market. It's a modern card, and remember. Take this to the grave. The moderner, the better. It doesn't matter what card. It's just always going to be whatever the most modern card is. Son of a Mewtwo said, pay my dues. I appreciate you, Son of a Mewtwo. But, yeah, and then I've also noticed, too, as of recently, a lot of people, I wouldn't say they've been sleeping on Pokemon Center ETBs, but I feel like a lot of people have just stopped paying attention to Pokemon Center ETBs, and I'm not really sure the exact reason why is because when you look at a lot of Pokemon Center ETBs, especially Pokemon Center ETBs that have promos in it. So all Scarlet and Violet Pokemon Center ETBs switched over to having promos, especially when you look at and then specialty sets obviously always had promos, but you start to look at Pokemon Center stamp promos for a lot of these ETBs. They're doing really, really, really well across the board. Almost ubiquitously across all of them. They're all doing well. From, Scarlet and Violet base all the way up to the most modern stuff. And then even up here, I got a pile of them right here. Okay, it's not a pile, but I had a couple. Well, I didn't grab them all, but this is just the regular 151 Snorlax ETB promos. They're not the Pokemon stamped. This card, I don't know. I have some raw ones under my desk that are here's one that's been sitting under my desk because it wasn't a graded copy. It fell behind my desk. Look. This is how much I care about that promo. It's been rolled over by my desk. Listen, this is a very clean background. The rest of this desk is wild. But that card, what is it? It's a dollar promo from a non-Pokemon Center ETB. That's about what this card is worth raw. It might as well be worthless when you look at most cards in this hobby. Take that same Snorlax, slap a Pokemon Center stamp on it, and then go look at what current prices are. Go on TCG Player right now, and you're going to probably see that Snorlax from Pokemon 151, the Pokemon Center ETB promo, right around $49. You hear like the difference in that price? I just told you I have one card that fell behind my desk and got rolled over by my office chair for the last couple weeks, and I just happened to know, and I finally picked it up, and then I threw it across the room anyways. Or if that same exact card has a little teeny baby Pokemon Center stamp on it, it goes from being worth $1 to $49. Just think about it. A lot of people, I do feel like, are just sleeping on Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs. They haven't been mean to anyone. I feel like they've been very, very nice to a lot of people in this hobby. Are they all winners? No. But the large majority of them, in a way, are. There's a lot of, and especially for those that don't have a ton of money, there's a lot of ways in this hobby that you can more or less just collect for free. And I gave you multiple examples today because the title of this video is Pokemon Buys and Moves People Are Sleeping On. That Pokemon Together promo, time recording this video for the pure $35. I told you could have picked up those 2-pack pin blister bundles for $40. You spent $5, you got 8 free packs. That Snorlax promo, sure, you spent $59 on a Pokemon Center ETB, but fast forward, what did Pokemon or 151 come out a year ago? So fast forward a year later, that promo alone is worth close to $50, and then you got the other 10 packs of 151 in your ETB for $10. That's $1 per pack. So is that technically free? No, but Pokemon does this. It gives away just all this stuff to people, and take advantage of it. Take advantage of it while it's out there. Don't let this stuff pass. And it's the same thing. I feel like too many people are sleeping. Don't start sleeping on Sealed Modern. Don't start sleeping on Sword and Shield. Don't start sleeping on specialty sets. Definitely don't start sleeping on any promos that have any sort of stamp on it. Whether it's this most recent Pokemon Worlds promo, which you could go source today. Maybe not today. It's like 9 o'clock at the time of recording this video. But maybe if you live in a different time zone, you're in California, you could probably go out right now, today, and source that card. It's currently selling for $10 out as a free promo. There's so many opportunities. This is a problem too. Are we living in the high-flying, everything goes parabolic? No, maybe not. But we're still in a very, very good time in this hobby, where there's a lot of free money still happening day to day. I just feel like people, I wouldn't say they get unenthused, or if they aren't following the market. I think a lot of people understand a lot of this stuff is happening right now. But I hate to say it, I think some people are just getting a little lazy. Like, you almost get so overly rewarded constantly in this hobby. Just going through this year, and you look at all the things that just hit. If you didn't even really buy much, and you kind of were just collecting for free, this was a good year for you. I mean, obviously, I showed, like, the PSA promo and stuff, like, a lot of free stuff just existed. The Van Gogh stuff, that was, I guess, when did the Van Gogh Pikachu come out? Was that a year ago? That was just free money, Has it been a year since Van Gogh Pikachu came out? Maybe it has. See, I can't even keep track of time. But it's like Pokemon Together promos, Pikachu Worlds promos, a free promo from PSA, the Van Goghs, like I mentioned, just a million. It always seems like there's just stuff that Pokemon does, or releases that get dropped, or special bundle deals, whether it's on, Safari Zone, or it's Pokemon Center, or it's, a GameStop buy one, get one get one free deal. There's just so many like little things that have happened so recently in the hobby where as long as you're even kind of mildly engaged, you should be taking advantage of close to 100% of this stuff. And even Pokemon Center promos, yeah, we got the Van Gogh, but before then, it's the special delivery Charizard. Before the special delivery Charizard is the special delivery Bidoof. Before the special delivery Bidoof, it's the special delivery Pikachu. And even screw all that, I forgot the obvious one, like the Pokemon Center Reverse Hollow Squirtle for the 151. If you pre-ordered the Pokemon from Pokemon Center, if you pre-ordered the 151 UPCs, you got that free Squirtle promo. Go look at current sales of that Squirtle promo. That is an $80 promo. Yeah, you had to spend $120 on a UPC, but you ended up getting an $80 promo. So that UPC ends up costing you $40. $40 for a 151 UPC is not a bad price. You get the Mew card, you get the Gold Mew card, you get the Mewtwo card, and then you get, 14 packs of 151. I'm sure you get the playmat, you get the damage counters, and nobody counts that. You get the 14 packs. Not bad for 14, not bad 14 packs for $40 with those promos. Pokemon just keeps doing it, man. They just keep giving away free stuff. Don't sleep on promos. Don't sleep on little teeny baby stamps. Take 2 cards. Take a 151 non-stamped Squirtle Reverse. You got a 10-cent card. You put a little Pokemon Center stamp on it. You got an $80 card. 10-cent card, no stamp, $80 card with a stamp. Pokemon does this all the time. Don't sleep on this stuff. You got a Pikachu Worlds promo that's free. Don't skip it. When they do Pokemon Together promos, don't skip it. When they do the next Pokemon Center promo, which they will pretty soon, don't sleep on it. Pokemon Center exclusive ETBs for all these main expansions that come with stamped promos, don't sleep on it. Let's see. Anyways, that was my rant for the first 27 minutes. If you guys are new to this channel, usually on these lives, I will do my little spiel at the beginning, do my best to keep it with the title of this video. Now I'm going to, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask the questions. Once I get to the bottom of the chat, that's going to be in there live. Aaron, he said, what up, boys? What up? We got #1 mod in the game. My old friend, Katie. Katie, good to see you in the chat, as always. Wouldn't it be the same without you, Katie? She said, happy Thursday to you, #1 mod. Inept Card Collector, good to see you. Got Eric Garen M, good to see you. Tom B. Pokey Steve says, sup everybody, catching up. I'm driving back home, nothing like a long day. Yep. Oh, we got Mr. Rattle Pokemon himself in the chat. What's up, Rattle? So Alex says, I've been grinding away messaging eBay sellers to buy out Chinese products / cards that will provide a bulk discount, and just sadly nobody's willing to work with them. Oh, that's rough. Keep your heads up, man. I mean, keep trying. My best advice I give you is what I do. Listen, I got one Chinese one Chinese seller that I buy from, and I've been buying from him only because I know, like, the cards he sends are just always near mint contenders. I've had fantastic 10 rates, like, by sourcing with them. I've had fantastic 10 rates sourcing blindly. Now, unfortunately, when I sent those cards to Beckett, some of them smoked. But assuming I'm not sending it to Beckett through the ZNG, Consignments Plus service, and just sending them the PSA myself, close to like 90+% 10 rate. So I'll pay a little bit of a premium to buy from him, and a little bit of a premium's not crazy. I'm not paying double what that card is worth raw. I'm paying about 10% extra. But to pay an extra 10%, to have peace of mind, and to be able to buy in bulk from this person, and I bought from them so many times, I think they recognize my name because they never used to send me free stuff, but now they send me free stuff all the time because I'll just buy out their listings. I'll go on their eBay page, they'll have 20 plus of a card, and I'll just buy out all 20 and just see what I can do. I got piles of those cards. So find yourself a seller like that. And if it means paying extra 10%, do it. Now, don't pay an extra 100%. But yeah, Alex, that's my best advice I could give you is you might not be able to get that bulk buy discount, but you can definitely find that good seller. Let's see. Chill Phil said that Greninja and Kingdra are fire. Yeah. So yeah, when I was at Rusty's house, Rusty was talking about both those promos, and Rusty was like, "Yeah, I think Rusty's like, I opened up all my boxes and sent those promos away." I don't know if he sent them the CGC or PSA, but yeah, it's just it seems like an obvious play right now, and like that's why I'm saying I'm fascinated to see what those very first to market plays look like. So also Dave C, with the huge caveat to everything we say, Dave C says, it's such a crapshoot. You just never know, to be honest. Hopefully you get a grader who's having a good day. I think the unfortunate reality that so many of us have learned so long ago is, yeah, you are just at the whim of the grader when everything's all said and done. And I got a pile right here like that. That Greninja's in this pile. Or, not that Greninja. That, where's my camera? So this Venusaur is in it. It's in my pile. I always send all my WotC cards, so this is a pile and send. I'll show you guys my submission. So this is my next submission that's going out to PSA for WotC. So the way I do it is I'll do multiple submissions in a box, but I separate my submissions by like errors. So this is just going to all be WotC, and they're all clean, and I'm hoping I get a decent grader. So obviously this is not a 10, but it's print error Pikachu. Obviously you guys know me, Hypno from Aquapolis. This is an Umbreon from Aquapolis, and this Umbreon is a clean Umbreon. I am super bullish on this thing hitting 10, even though it's a non-holo. I got a reverse holo Beedrill from Skyridge, Macargo from Skyridge, Zod2. We got 3 EVs from Skyridge that are going. I got a pretty clean Hitmonchan. See, I don't think this is going to hit a 10, but if you look at the corners, I do think it has a shot at a 9, except for right. Can you see that whitening? So I think that is going to keep me down. I'm hoping to get a 9. It's definitely not a 10. And then just a Topps Chrome and then the One Piece card. So that's my WotC submission. And I wasn't going to send this submission out like anytime soon, but because this Venusaur got cracked just like yesterday or the day before I cracked it out. So I'm going to send that. And then I'm not going to go completely through it, but this is my modern submission, so I'm guessing you can guess probably a lot of the cards that are in a modern submission. So it's going to be super liquid, super modern, alt arts. There's no secret when it comes to graded modern. It's the moderner, the better. The altier the art, the better. Let's see. Mr. Kite said, I actually love Shrouded Fable. That's good. PR said, oh, a lot of people are liking Shrouded Fable. That's good. And got to the point where Son of a Mewtwo, member for 5 months, and the super chat, again, appreciate you, Son of a Mewtwo. Yeah, I think a lot of people are in agreement that the Greninja and Kingdra out of the Special Illustration Collection boxes are pretty fire, too. And especially even at MSRP, which I hate to quote MSRP for anything, but $29.99, that's not a terrible price. I mean, we've seen a lot worse. I mean, special collection boxes could get pretty pricey pretty quick, and for being $29.99 to have such a easily gradable promo, I think it's a good play. Like I said, I am fascinated to watch that promo play out in both the short term and the long term. People are talking about the Snorlax that got ran over by my office chair. Snickhop said, I always buy the Pokemon Center ETBs for the stamp card, one sealed and one to open. Yeah. Armstrong said, made it to alive. Great to meet you at Charlotte Collecticon. Next time I'll have to beat you in darts. Oh, there's no beating me in darts, my friend. Let's see. Jump to the bottom. Uh, so Nexus said, I picked up 65 Silver Tempest Dragonite EU exclusive promos from Real Good Deal on eBay for $4 each, and they are already selling for $20 each. Going to grade a few for giggles. That's awesome, man. Nexus says, I'm 95% sure they mislisted the card as a different stamp promos because there are 4 versions of that card. Yeah, I'm not even like knowing exactly which one the Dragonite EU promo is, so I'd have to look it up. Snick Hop said, wish English cards would have better print quality. Cards come out of the packs with white corners and print lines galore. Welcome to Pokemon. I've said it on multiple lives. It doesn't matter. I mean, every era has them. For Scarlet and Violet, yeah, we're running into it with a lot of these sets, but first print wave of Shining Fates, you remember all those baby shinings that had all that silver and like edging. You know, fast forward before that, or rewind before that, I should say. Look at Sun and Moon, Burning Shadows. There's a reason why that Charizard, even if you open a million packs of Burning Shadows, which this is one of my favorite tinfoil hats. Everyone knows about the Unseen Forces Gold Star dogs that were leaked from the factory. If somebody told me that all the Charizards from Burning Shadows were leaked from the factory, I would believe you. And the reason why I would believe you is because of how impossible it seemed to pull that rainbow Charizard from Burning Shadows. But talk about terrible print quality. Burning Shadows, trash print quality. And then before Sun and Moon, you go to XY, and there's a reason why Evolutions, everyone talks about Evolutions, and you look at the price disparity between a PSA 10 Evolutions Charizard versus a PSA 9 Evolutions Charizard, and that you're talking gigantic price disparities. Why? Because it just was a tough card to grade. And it happens in all the periods. You could go back to Diamond and Pearl, their sets, and it's just, there's always just one set that Pokemon prints of every single era that is just tough to grade. And yeah, listen, I would have told you 10 years ago that this is going to change. There's no way Pokemon's going to keep having crappy print quality. And the problem is, and the worst part of all this is, we know for 100% fact that Pokemon, if they wanted to, they could make great print quality. Here's a Chinese card in front of me. Right? Chinese card. There's the front, but there's the back. It's got the English back. That's what a Chinese card has. These cards come out of Japan. It's got the English back. We know English backs could be cut clean because I'm looking at one. All these Chinese cards, fantastic print quality. And you look at a set like Celebrations. Celebrations, English set. Sure, it was a specialty set. Celebrations, especially when it came to the hits, that 25 card hit set, the print quality of those were fantastic. Now, the non-25, like the regular hollows in the set, there's a talk about you want to get down a rabbit hole. Why don't you go down the rabbit hole of non-chase card Celebrations cards, like just the 1 through 25. Go look at those prices in a PSA 10 because they're not super easy to grade, but the actual chases are. So we know Pokemon could do good printing when they want. It's just, I don't know if they just don't or what. Let's see. Trevor said, "Glad you bought up the World's Promo Pokemon Center. Lets you keep placing orders to get them excited to grade a few." Yeah. And it's crazy. Like again, you just mentioned Pokemon Center, but you could just keep buying them, and then you buy them, and then they're selling for $10 right now. I don't get it. I didn't even know they were still available on Pokemon Center, to be honest with you. Let's see. Pokemage87. Pokemage, I think I met you in Charlotte. It was good to see you. He said, I just got destroyed with 9s today. I don't know who hurt my grader because they were down bad. Yeah. That's the unfortunate reality. Is sometimes you just get that one tough PSA grader. I don't know if I've ever told you guys the story of the Uno cards I sent. So I got a Professor Oak, shout out to Professor Oak. I don't know if he sent me a DM, but he was like, hey, PK, by the way, this first ever Uno card was graded. And I was like, wait, Uno decks? You get 4 Charizards per deck. You get 4 Blastoise, 4 Venusaurs, 4 Mewtwo's in a Uno deck, and you could grade them? Where? So, wait, you're telling me I could pick up a deck and it has 4 of these in it per deck, and I could grade these? And then he's like, yep. And I'm like, okay. Well, I don't even remember. I think I bought this is where I'm going to probably make up a number because I don't remember, but it was probably like 19 decks. So I get my 19 decks, open them all up. I still got a couple sealed from that original. Open them all up, sort out a bunch of cards, send away a big submission to PSA, all these Uno cards. And while those cards are all out, I still got, oh my god, I have so many loose Uno cards. Oh, actually, there's a cardboard box right off screen. And all it is just piles of Uno cards. But anyways, sent away all the Charizards and a bunch of other cards, but not all the Charizards, but like a lot. And while my submission was gone, I was like, getting antsy. I'm like, this is going to be a great play. This is the old maid play all over again. Oh, this is going to work out so well. And then before my first submission even hits the grading phase, I already sent out a second submission to PSA. All the same cards from the same decks, but then I was like, okay, I sent away like 1 of each, or maybe I sent away like 3 of each Charizards. I can't remember like the exact numbers. I have to go back through my PSA submission and look. But anyways, sent out another submission with like all the rest of the ones that I thought were worthy of the grade. So never got my first grades back. My first grades come back 6s, 8s. I think this is a 9 left over from that first submission, like a bunch of 9s, 1 or 2 10s out of like, I don't even know, 70 card submission, just destroyed, like beat up so bad. And I was like, well, that sucks. I'm never going to be able to move these cards. And I was like, great, I already sent out a second submission thinking that these cards were going to all be easy 10s. What was I thinking? My second submission comes back. It's like 95% 10 rate. I just told you I sent out like a 70 card submission, got 2 10s. I sent out another one of like 90 cards, and it's 95% 10s. So obviously, cleaned up on the 10s. The 10s far outpaced all my losses on the crappy cards, but, I was selling, and still to this day, I sold my last 10 that I had. I sold 2 of them at Charlotte Collecticon. I gave them to Dan for consignment with $50 stickers on it. Okay? Those are my last 2 Charizards 10 sold at Charlotte Collecticon. And I went up to Dan and I was like, Dan, it's pretty funny, right? He's like, you know what, PK? The person that bought this card, they came up and they said, and I heard them talking, they were upset that you didn't have all the colors, that you only had the blue one. And I was like, told you, Dan, like, these cards just sell. They're so liquid. But anyways, in person they sell. They don't really sell for shit online, but in person they sell. But it was the same cards from the same decks. The only problem was one got graded by one person at PSA, and then that next submission clearly did not get graded by the same submitter. But we're not even talking about all the cards were pulled at random. I wasn't pre-grading these. I was just pulling them at random. And to go from 2 out of 70 to like 75 out of 80 or whatever the hell it was crazy. That's this hobby for you. That's grading for you. Let's see. Garen M said, do you source your Wizard of Coast off eBay, or are you doing a lot of sourcing in person? I do a lot of stuff on eBay. I'm just randomly. So my best advice to you is, if you're sourcing WotC cards, is you're not going to always find, it's almost impossible to find one seller that is just, you put him on your saved sellers list and he's just selling near mint WotC cards all the time. What you're probably going to find is just some random guy is selling 25 Wizard of the Coast cards all at the same time. He doesn't sell Pokemon all the time, but he's selling these cards individually. You look at them, and you could very quickly tell that these cards all came from his childhood binder. They all came from his same collection. You can tell that when he was a kid, he took good care of these cards, and then you just buy up all of their auctions. And that's where you got to be smart too. You got to go. You got to look at their recent sold items. Have they been selling Pokemon cards recently? Look at their feedback. Look at their other items. Look at the age of account. Are they at eBay? Are they a Pokemon seller on eBay? And if the answer is no, but they have a ton of clean WotC cards, and that's when you're looking at photos. You're making sure that the backgrounds of the photos they're taken match the cards, and you do all the due diligence you do, and then you just find those once in a while. They don't pop up daily, but they definitely pop up monthly. So if you're sourcing 20 cards from different or 20 cards per month, and you multiply that over the course of a year, that's 240 cards of just clean WotC cards that you are sourcing with the intention of grading. So, yeah, eBay's probably your best bet. It takes time, but usually you just got to find that one person and, cycle through your eBay sold listings. If you bought stuff, look, are they selling anything else? And take advantage of it. When it's there, and then it's going to be gone. I don't even know for a while how many people were on my saved sellers list that just only once in a blue moon would ever sell Pokemon cards, because I just knew, these guys never sell cards. They must randomly just pull a card out of their binder to sell. Find those people. Dan Luzzi said, PK, how long do you think before Evolving Skies packs get to $20 on TCG Player? So we are in August. So we got August, September, October. I think you're going to see big price jumps from 15 to 18, and then you'll see 20 by November 1st. That would be my timeline. I think we see a $5. And even if you want to go on Hills Wholesale Gaming right now, you could pick up Evolving Skies packs loose for 18. I think the only other loose packs I have available are Celestial Storm at 25. But I can definitely see 15, the next price floor or price ceiling we're going to hit real quick is at 18, and then once we're able to break through that 18, I think 20 is definitely possible. So right around November 1st. Let's see. Nexus says, you want to do a viewer eBay store review someday? I don't even know what that is. Anyways, made to the bottom of the chat. Only took me 47 minutes. I think this is a new record, but listen, guys, over 100 people tuned in on a random Thursday night to listen to me yap about nothing. But appreciate you guys. Appreciate you tuning in. I will be live again, hopefully this weekend. But yeah, guys, if you could do me one favor before you click off this video, hit that like button. If you're new to this channel, you made it to the end of a 48-minute long live and you heard some maniac talk about Pokemon into the absolute void, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed. But other than that, appreciate every single one of you. And as always, I'll catch you on the next video.